Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian and V Strong Style Cinephile. John Wick, I saw it last night, so let's geek about it for a scant few minutes because, I mean, sure there are many other reviewers out there that are going to go into deep detail about aspects of the film from a thematic standpoint, from a cinematography standpoint, which again, cinematography is amazing on this film. The action sequences are shot beautifully, just staged, just composed just beautifully. There's a top-down shot, an extended top-down like sequence towards the end of the film that I'm wondering how many other films are going to copy going forth, which I would love to copy or pay homage to at some point, because it was just like this steady, just tracking shot. I'd just love to see the behind the scenes just on how they set that, what they used to shoot it with, and just other technical questions like that. I'm just dying to know how they did it because it looked amazing. Story continues. John Wick is trying to fight for his freedom out from under the table, and things take a different turn in this film as he seeks to take on somebody directly that was dispatched by the table to basically stop John Wick. And that's kind of where things collide in this film. John fighting for his freedom, and the table's forces are trying to put him down. The fact that we have come so far in this world with this lore, this world building that they've done is just great in this film. We go from the first film where it's a former assassin who comes out of retirement because some like Russian douchebags killed the dog that his dying wife left for him. And then we build from there to this whole like dealing with the Continental and this whole like underground and these rules and these rites and rituals and rules that they all have to stick to and are guided by. It's just amazing how they've continued to build on top of each one, to the extent that we are, as of last time I read something about it, still going to get a spin-off of the Continental and another spin-off called Ballerina, which has to do with the ballerinas we encountered in chapter 3. Lawrence Fishburne being back as a Bowery King, he's great. Winston is great. The late great Lance Reddick is great, albeit brief in the film. Donnie Yen's addition to this. Donnie Yen is a freaking action legend, and he is great in this. The gentleman they brought in to be the tracker was an interesting, kind of fresh character. There were so many. I read an interview with Stahelski about the film and kind of the motives and the reasoning, the things that they were thinking going into making this fourth movie. It's like they made the third one, they're kind of kicking around, okay, what can we do? We only want to do this. And he said he didn't want to do it if it was just for the money, which I kind of like. I believe him, but then I kind of like, well, the movie made this much money, you got the studio pressuring you to make another one, to make more money. That's kind of why you're in this, is to make money, make movies, make good movies, make money. Like capitalism, that's what we're here for. Let's not be free. Let's not front about that, you know. But one of the things that he said is just one of the ideas that he put forth is just building upon, you know, what they've done, and he wanted to continue to build and have different motives that were not so cut and dry for the characters in this, and I think he succeeded in that. Where some of the motivations for some of the characters, like Donnie Yen's Kane and John Wick's Keanu Reeves' John Wick, even like the tracker coming in, even Winston, their motivations aren't exactly cut and dry. This guy's a bad guy, this guy's a good guy, this is why they're going at it. It's just more like this person has these things that they care about, or this person that they care about, it puts them at odds with this person. It is what it is. They're holding firm to their convictions, their love for that person or that thing, that entity, whatever. That's what's driving them, and I love that because it's like I said, it's not just Russian douchebags who killed his dog in the first movie. There's a lot more nuance to the motivations to the characters in this film, and I love it. Now, the film did run a little bit long. Let's be real. Let's admit some of the action scenes in maybe the middle kind of dragged on a little bit. I mean, once you see Keanu Reeves execute that like jumping jujitsu, you know, flipping stuff with the dude on his arm and taking the gun from him and shooting him type of stuff, when you see it like 8 or 9 times, you're kind of like, all right, that was cool. Oh yeah, you did the thing again. Cool. Okay. All right. Oh, you're doing it again. Okay. Oh, you're doing it again. No, it's cool. This is like, 13 times, but it's cool. It's cool. That was my only thing with it. The fact that we had this massive kind of sequence fight scene, and then sort of the lower key, like climactic finale fight duel. Without giving away too many spoilers, I think was fantastic. Clancy Brown coming in as the Harbinger. His character just brought the dude. Just, of course, the voice of Lex Luthor in the JLU, and so many other things. The guy just brings an on-screen just gravitas. It just fit the character that he portrayed. But having things kind of climax in that low-key sort of way that they do, I think was fantastic, and I think it was unexpected, and I think it was different and needed to be done, considering all the big pomp and circumstance and the flash and the spectacle of everything that came before. To have it kind of be low-key and intimate, I like that. Scott Adkins was in it. I did not realize he's the big dude with the gold teeth at the card table. It was another Tom Cruise Tropic Thunder situation where he was in a fat suit. A lot of making prosthetics and throwing in a different accent. And I saw his name in the credits, and I was trying to think back like where he was, and then I didn't recognize him until I saw like an interview today where he was talking about the part, and thus they like show him, at the table, and I was like, oh, because I was like, big dude kid, like he's throwing down, and then of course it's not actually a big dude that's throwing down, throwing spin kicks and stuff like that. It's Scott Adkins in a fat suit, but still played a phenomenal part in this film. I would have actually liked to see more from his character. So many characters in this, because I was watching like an IGN thing about kind of where this franchise can go from here. Again, Continental spinoff, Ballerina, there are all these other characters, your Kane, the Tracker, Kira, there are, continuing on maybe with the Bowery King, there are maybe picking up Halle Berry's character from last film, although I still think Halle Berry was a crappy addition to the thing. Like, her character was fine, it's just Halle Berry playing it. It just didn't work with me. Like, it's actually, I have to go watch it again. Maybe I'm biased in remembering, but I swear when I watched it at the time, like, her action sequences and stuff just seemed to slow motion and stuff compared to everybody else. It's just anybody else but Halle Berry. Like the character, Halle Berry, no. And it's not just because I still am very, very salty at Halle Berry being cast as Storm in the Fox X-Men movies over Angela Bassett, who, if you watch the Black Panther movies, you could see she should have been Storm. But that's a whole other rant entirely. But there are other characters in this world that they can pull forth to do future films within this world, I think. Because I think the end of this film had a nice definitive end to John Wick's story. 4 films of John Wick's story and his struggle and his attempt to get out from under the table and to leave this life behind, to gain his freedom. And we have a nice fitting conclusion to that, and I really don't want them to cheapen it as much as it could be tempting, as much as Keanu may want to do another one, or could be talked into doing another one. But I think Keanu's smart enough to realize, like, yeah, we should get off the bus here. I think he's smart enough to realize it. I think the director, Chad Stahelski, I think he's smart enough to realize, yeah, we need to get off here. The studio can be pushy, and they could see the returns. I think this opening box office was like 78 million or something like that. I don't know what the budget is on this, but I can't imagine it's like, these blockbuster franchise, MCU or Fast and Furious type of budget. So I imagine it's not going to be hard for them to recoup what they spent on the budget for filming it, as well as marketing and stuff like that. So the studio could ramp up the pressure to deliver another John Wick movie. But I'm hoping that they resist, that the director resists, Keanu Reeves says, no, we're done, it's a good time to get off. And like the Tracker or Akira or Kane, we can go forth in this world with these other characters. I'm hoping they stick to that, and I really think the 2 men behind John Wick are smart enough, understanding enough, and brave enough to stop the John Wick train here with this film. Remains to be seen if it happens. I guess we'll all find out together in a couple of years if another movie is announced. Remains to be seen. But all in all, it's kind of long in spots. You'll feel it towards the end, but I think as a whole, great film, satisfying conclusion to the John Wick story. And if you're a fan of this franchise to this point, you owe it to yourself to check it out. The action is top-notch and innovative. Some stuff kind of gets hit a little bit more times than you would like, some of the gags or whatever. But then again, it's all just it's this franchise. It's what goes with it. So you take it. I loved it. Probably see it again on the big screen before I buy the DVD, Blu-ray, and have it at home to watch whenever I want to study, pick apart, and rip stuff off that I want to throw homage to. You know what I mean? But anyway, those are some of my thoughts on it. Scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time, let us geek.